y'all, it's your girl Yo-Yo. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Welcome. And today we're going to just jump right into it, and I just want to talk about being broke. And I just want to look up the definition real quick, and it looks like as an adjective the word broke just means without money, penniless, or bankrupt. I just want you to know that if you have, a couple of coins in your pocket, necessarily you're not broke. I want to touch up on when it comes to being broke and things like that, and why that state of mind even exists, and are you even broke? We can't keep being broke. Let's get into it. All right, so I just jot down a couple notes. Yes, I'm going to be looking down at my tablet because I don't want to lose my train of thought. So let's jump right into it. All right, so why are you quote unquote broke? Being broke, just want to change that so badly, but being in that state of mind, it could continue to cause you to not have. You will continue to lack if you wake up in the morning and be like, oh my goodness, I'm broke. Or I just got to go to work today, but I don't feel like it, but I'm broke, so I have to go. Like, oh, I wish I could buy these shoes right now, but I'm broke. Like, are you necessarily broke, or are you just not budgeting properly? Are you broke, or are you someone that is used to a certain amount? You have a less than all of a sudden. And why we stay quote unquote broke. Another topic, okay? Ask yourself, number one, ask yourself, why are you broke? Okay. One of the reasons why I feel like some of us are not financially where we want to be, or we feel like we're lacking in that area, is because I think some of us just have that mentality that that's what we are, or that's what we have. We don't have any. We have a lack of. So because you are in that state of mind, you will continue to walk in those footsteps that continue to keep you quote unquote broke. The state of mind has to change. We can't keep flowing like that. You following? Hopefully you picking up what I'm putting down, because y'all, this is real. We can't continue going into 2022 with this mentality. Just cut it. How are you budgeting? When you do get some source of income, whether it's work, whether it's you being an entrepreneur and you're running a business, and whatever the case is, how are you budgeting yourself? Are you splitting your expenses in half? Let's go from here. If you are someone that is living paycheck to paycheck, let's be mindful to not keep adding on expenses that you cannot afford at that time. So for example, if you want to buy this particular item, and you know for sure it's going to go on sale within like the next month or so, could you wait to get that item at that time versus putting it into your budget? But you're living paycheck to paycheck. What sense does it make to add another expense onto your budget, but you're living paycheck to paycheck? How many times have we heard of something going out of stock, and all of a sudden 3 months later, or a month later, or a week later, that same product becomes available, depending on the demand? Let's not focus on what you have or don't have right now, and just put into your state of mind, what am I budgeting? I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Even if you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you want to continue to stack up your coins. You don't want to just throw it away because you need something right here, right now. Are you budgeting for your business? Are you budgeting for your home? Are you budgeting for your children? Like, I feel, in my opinion, what works best for me is to put everything in a category. I don't necessarily have to live paycheck to paycheck if I budget myself the right way. Because when I look at my budget list, a lot of things on there I don't necessarily need. The place where I live is a priority. The vehicle that I drive is a priority. My car insurance is a priority. Things that get me from point A to point B, things that I need as an essential, those things are priority. Me eating a certain meal for that day just because I feel like I have an extra $10 to spend, it makes no sense if I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Here's a key point. I'm going to use my business as an excuse or as a way for me to enjoy that meal, but it's also in my business budget because I'm running a business, so technically I could write that off. I can conduct a meeting at that restaurant where I am eating the same thing I want to eat and I'm getting my work done at the same time. That's just a little key point. Let's keep rolling. Follow me, okay? So another one is, does your upbringing have anything to do with how you budget? A lot of our parents don't necessarily sit down and talk to us about budgeting and expenses. Sometimes they literally just go based off of what they get. So for example, if you're someone that is used to not having a certain amount of money, or not having what other people have, sometimes your parents don't have time to explain to you why we can afford this right now. You have to have that state of mind sometimes, and I'm sorry to say it that way, just to look at it from their perspective, because if they don't speak to you about budgeting and they do not instill in you what it's like to have, you're going to always focus on what you don't have. If you're someone that grew up in an environment or in a household where your parents would say things like, I ain't got it, I ain't got it, I ain't got it, but then a week later they pull up with some new shoes for themselves and you ain't got one, but then they get their nails done and you still looking like, huh? Some of that could mean like they don't have it right now and the candy bar you want is just not something that they feel like giving to you right now, but they got to get their nails done. That's a priority for them. If you're someone that your parents sat down with and spoke to and said, you can still get your nails done, you can still eat at this particular place, however, or do you have an extra income coming in to afford that? It's important to just, if you didn't speak to your parents about budgeting as a child, I think it's important that you speak to yourself now. And if you do have children, speak to them. Why not talk to your children about it now if you didn't get that experience yourself? Okay. All right. So another thing is, do you allow yourself to be in that financial hole because of what other people have? It's so easy to look at what somebody else has and say that I want that. I want what they have. Why don't I have what they have? Do you work the way that they work in the same environment as these people? Do you have any idea what it costs? Are they even the ones buying these items for themselves? Why does it even concern you? That's really the bottom line. Why does what someone else has concern you so badly? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to not want what someone else has, but are you going to work for it? And another thing, some people just go above and beyond to get what other people have because they want to keep up with other people. I've witnessed so many people be like, oh, so-and-so has this car, I wish I could get that car. And I'm guilty of this. This is not something that, this whole thing is just not something that I'm not guilty of. I'm guilty of everything on this list. Let's just go there, okay? But I want what so-and-so has. And you're willing to put yourself in a hole because you want to look like what so-and-so looks like. You want to have what so-and-so have. You want that phone. You want that car. You want those out. You want that outfit. Girl, she probably bought that on sale. Just because it says X, Y, and Z logo on it doesn't necessarily mean it costs what it looked like. Okay, there's so many people that have things that you don't have, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't go get the same exact thing. You don't know how they got it. So just chill and stop trying to keep up with people, because if it's not a part of your budget, maybe that's not your team, okay? Maybe that's not where you're supposed to be. Maybe you need to be in your budget. That's not saying only eat McDonald's, or that's not saying only hang around with people that have the same budget you have. But if you feel the need that you have to keep up with the people that you're around, that's not your people. And if you can keep up with them, then kudos to you. But if you can't, and your children are lacking, your business is lacking, you are lacking because you want to keep up with other people and you're willing to put yourself in a financial hole because of it, you might want to reconsider the people that you hang around in your environment. It's not always about keeping up with other people. It's about what you're going to benefit out of it. If you're not going to bring anything to the table and all you're getting out of it is a hole in your pocket, reconsider. Reconsider your budgeting, reconsider your state of mind, reconsider not keeping up with people that you have no business keeping up with, period. I think a lot of people focus on the gender roles, or however, male, female, or the opposite sex, same sex, whoever. I think some people focus on that too, and that becomes a thing where being quote unquote baroque keeps a lot of people. I'm speaking for myself as a woman. I know there are certain jobs that I would not make the same amount of if a man were to have that job. I can't negate how they decide to pay, because I choose to be in that environment. Now, if I'm someone that feels like that's a problem for me, that I'm not getting paid what my counterpart is getting paid, I need to create a different avenue for myself that either equates to the same thing or beyond. And it's not easy to do. It's easier said than done. You just can't change the state of mind of certain people unless you are willing to take action. Now, if you're not someone that's willing to take action, you're not willing to ask for a raise, you're not willing to put your best foot forward and go to work and kick butt, like whatever the case may be, you just have to understand that you may not get paid what your counterpart gets paid because you're a woman and they're a man. You may not get the same compensation as a man. Your state of mind has to be, I may not get that compensation right now, but I can create myself an avenue where I can get that and then some. Kudos to those, and I'm grateful for those who have opened up doors. If you're not going to be the person to kick down some doors to get what you want or to get what you need or deserve or feel like you are supposed to be getting compensated for, create an avenue to do it for yourself, the best of your abilities. Now, if this is going to be a hobby of yours, great. Some hobbies, a lot of people hobbies turn into bankrolls. You understand what I'm saying? So you could turn something that you're passionate about. If you're an actor or an actress or whoever, and you're not getting compensated what you deserve, and this is somebody who's never been in that field, so to speak, but I've worked in corporate offices where I haven't gotten compensated what I deserve because I didn't speak up, for one. For two, they just didn't see that I deserved it, or they saw that I deserved it, but I wasn't willing to say anything about it. So there are people, actors and actresses and people in certain environments that are willing to speak up for themselves to get what they deserve. It's not that the people that are paying you don't know what you deserve. It's just that they're not willing to pay you because you're not saying anything. So you may want to look at that as well. Either create your own avenue or speak up and say something about it. Because if you don't, you will never get what you deserve. And that's facts, for real. If you're in a relationship with somebody, before you got into a relationship with them, I hope you did speak about finances, because I don't know how to make that a sexy conversation. Hey, sweetheart, how's that credit score looking like? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how you're going to talk to your partner about that, but I feel like if you are with somebody, I don't even care if it's not someone that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. If this person is going to be with you on a day-to-day basis, y'all have to talk about them coins early. Period. Because you don't want to be the kind of person that you like to eat at Benihana's, but he could only afford Red Lobster, no shade. Like, that should have been a conversation that you should have had beforehand. Now he's going to be, or she's going to be, trying to keep up with what you like or what you got going on because all of a sudden now that's what they want. Or I got the money for Benihana's. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm finna eat. You can't get offended by that person that y'all never had that conversation and say, I don't got Benihana's coins, okay? I do got some Popeyes coins. You feel me? I got that on deck. We could do that, but we can't do Benihana's. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever, right now. Have those conversations with your spouse, because what's going to happen is you are now going to either resent your partner for having what you don't have, or it becomes a big deal when it didn't have to be. If you met this person at a particular point in their life and you know that they never had Benihana's money when you met them, but you see that they're on the path of getting that type of coin, then you work that out with your partner. But I don't feel like you should wait till you get to that point to want to say something, because now you look jealous, now you look bitter, now you look insecure, now you got all these things going on because you are not where your partner is. Please have that conversation early on, because you don't want them to. And then some people, let me tell you something. Side note, some people will come up with you and y'all both have nothing. The moment you start getting some coins and you elevate and you start doing certain things, if their pockets don't match where you are right now, your life is going to be a living H-double hockey sticks. Why? Because for some reason, how did y'all both come from this, but only one of y'all got to this? Where was the loophole? Did that person just drop you, or did you just not choose to come up with that person? Or maybe it just wasn't your time. So if that was your path, let's be clear. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, so-and-so got X, Y, and Z. We were both doing the same thing, but for some reason, they're here and I'm not. Reevaluate what you got going on. If they did it the crooked way to get to where they are, that's fine. You might as well just break up with that person at that point. I'm no counselor or anything. If you cannot have a conversation, an honest conversation about that, you and your partner will have that broke state of mind. Or you will have that state of mind or while they rise, or vice versa. And don't think just because you are coming up, they're going to love you on the come up. It doesn't work that way for everybody. We all wish we could, but that's another story for another day. Back to the topic. Talk to your partner before it goes forward. That was the key to that whole rant just now. Okay, just so you know. All right. For all of my lovely parents out there, I just want you to say that your children are not making you broke. I just want you to know that your children are not making you broke. I want you to know that your children asked to be born. And so if you choose to have children, it comes with expenses. And when you look at your child or your children in the face and say, you're the reason why I don't have no money, if they come at you with a slick comment, first of all, I'm sorry, and I hope they don't disrespect you. But if they have something to say to you and it hits you where it hurts, you got to be mindful that these kids are not asked to be born. It doesn't sit well with my spirit when parents are telling their children, you're the reason why I'm broke. I understand that there are children who take advantage of their parents greatly. I understand that there are parents who may feel guilty, so they do extra or they give extra to their children where they don't have. Now you start to resent your children, and now you start saying your children are the reason why you are broke. I need you both to evaluate the situation. If your children are putting themselves in a predicament where they are constantly and financially unstable, you might want to have that child reevaluate themselves. That's one. And two, if you are enabling that child, I'm going to need you to not say to that child or to anybody else that they are the reason why you are broke. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it didn't have to be here. The line has to be drawn somewhere. Because if you allow your children to keep you broke, I guarantee you will be there. If you will allow your guilt to make you feel like a crappy parent and for you to empty out your bank account because you feel guilty that you were a crappy parent, seek therapy, not your bank account. I'm just being so serious. You will be 80 and your child will continue to make you feel guilty because you didn't do X, Y, and Z when they were 5. If you feel like your coins is going to cover that up, cover up their wounds, you're in for a rude awakening, and yes, you will stay in that position. Why are you broke? And you're going to say your children are making you broke, evaluate your situation. This is not me coming for anybody. This is me speaking from experience. This is me speaking from what I know. It's not me speaking off of, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Granted, be there for your children, support your children. Give them the boost to create an avenue on their own. And if that avenue they don't feel like creating on their own is just not on their mind, there's nothing you could do about it. So I would suggest personally, these are not facts for me to give to y'all necessarily, even though I might say facts. All of these are my opinion. All of these are some things that I've either witnessed or have experienced. And so don't allow yourself to be that guilty parent that continues to give to your children and allow yourself to be broke and then resent that child for being broke. You never decided to seek therapy, and they're not doing either. They're not, even if you don't go to therapy, you don't want to take accountability that you did X, Y, and Z terribly as a parent. So now you feel like your bank account is supposed to compensate for that. That's not how it works. You will continue to be broke if that is your state of mind as a parent. Side note. Another thing is, what are your views on money? What are your views on wealth? If you are somebody that sits there and says to yourself that I will never have, I don't have, or money is evil, or money is the root of all evil. I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna get no coins and decide to be evil. I've never had money in my hands for me to be like, I'm going to do something evil. Like, that's not my relationship with money. I actually have a relationship with money where it constantly flows in my path. Not saying that I'm rich, but to the point where I've witnessed and realized that there are going to be ups and downs, and I just have to prepare myself for those ups, and I have to prepare myself for those downs. I don't have a poor relationship with money. I no longer look at money and say, ooh, I get paid on Friday. Like, oh my God, I got all these bills. Like, I don't know, I get paid on Friday. What's up? Like, what we doing? What we checking off this list? You feel me? Rent's paid, you know, my car, my insurance, like, you know, X, Y, and Z, like priorities taken care of. That's my relationship with money now. I don't have that. I don't resent money. I don't resent looking forward to payday. Like I don't do that. And until I get paid, I have to create different avenues to make sure that I'm, one, being productive when I'm not getting extra income the way I would like. And two, I'm not being negative about it. I don't have a broke state of mind, I promise you. Like, I used to, and you do come across tough time where you be like, oh my goodness, but money ain't never done nothing wrong to me. So why am I doing something wrong to money? Why am I resenting payday? Like, some people will get happy on payday. Then soon as Monday hit, they be like, bruh, but you was just happy that you got paid. But because the money that you got, you were already anxious to get rid of because you already had things on your plate to take care of. Now you're resenting money. You're not looking at the benefits. Now you're resenting your job that is actually giving you the money to pay these bills. I had a bad habit of doing that to myself. Like, constantly feeling like, oh my goodness, somebody owes me, or I'm not getting compensated enough, or I get paid on Friday, like, oh my God, or I get paid on Wednesday, and I'm dreading it because I feel some type of way about money. Like, be grateful that I'm actually having some sort of income. Me and money, we on the same page. Let's put it that way. Coins, abundance, we're on the same path. You know what I'm saying? We have that same currency. We flow well together. I don't resent when I get a check. I don't resent when I get some cash. I don't resent when I get an idea to get some cash. I appreciate it, and I look forward to the next time I get some cash, and the next time I get some cash flow. Not just some money, but it's flowing consistently. I have to keep that state of mind, or else I will always be quote unquote broke, period. And last two, I'm just going to make it one. I think I said this in the beginning, to be honest, but I just want to reiterate it. What is your relationship, for one, with money? And not just that, but how do you improve it? And what is stopping you from improving it? For real, that's a real big question. That probably should have been number one. But what is really stopping you from getting the coins that you're looking forward to getting to? Never going to be easy. I don't know a baby who was like, oh, it was easy getting up and walking and falling several times. Like it was easy getting up and stumbling and bumping my head against the wall before I finally got the hang of it. Like, who says it's going to be easy for you to collect these coins? You're going to have haters everywhere you go. That's just what it is. And I've had to embrace it, because I'm not gonna lie to you, what stopped me from making videos, well, not because I didn't know I was going to have an audience, but what stopped me from making videos was because I felt like the income I would receive from however I would receive it, other people would see me with it and they would feel like she don't deserve it, or she shouldn't have it, or now I'm going to attack her because of X, Y, and Z. But I realized that I work in a corporate setting. Let's just say I don't have to be in front of a large audience for that to be the case. At least I don't like engage and physically see you on a daily basis. Y'all see my videos probably, but I'm not like eating lunch with you every day. You see what I'm saying? So I have to be able to get that state of mind strong first before I was able to get behind this camera. I've made multiple videos that I've deleted and never uploaded, and I just was overthinking it, because I was afraid that if I started getting some type of attraction, then I would have different opportunities and different doors would be open for me. And so I didn't want to, one, leave anybody behind, and for two, I didn't want the pressure of people just being on my case. I don't like people being in my pockets. I don't like people being in my wallet. I don't like people being near my finances when it comes to that, just because what I eat doesn't make you crap. When I sleep, it doesn't make you dream. So I don't understand why what I make tickles your pickle. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I will never get it. I will never be the kind of person I'd be like, she got this type of da-da-da-da. I hope she lose it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dang, they could... Like, that state of mind will keep you in very, very low financial state of mind. You have a low vibration on what other people are getting. You will continue to sit in that state of mind. I had to get over the fact that people that I personally know don't really rock with me if I don't agree with X, Y, and Z. I'm guilty of doing it vice versa. So why should I stop myself? My life will continue to go on whether I make the videos or not. I will continue to have to work. I will continue to have to take care of what I need to take care of. So why not make the videos? Why not? What is holding me? People to hate? That's going to come. It's in my life. It's in your life. It's in the crossing guard's life. Like, why she had to stop right now? I'm late for work. Like, even the crossing guard gets it. Like, as if she made the rules. As if she made the road rules. You know what I mean? People get mad at the crossing guard for just minding her business and doing her job. What you make should not make the other person feel some type of way. And it's not your business, and it's not your concern to make it their business and their concern. You focus on what you got to focus on. I guarantee you what you need and what you desire will automatically come towards you, because you're not worrying about the next person. If you're focusing on your coins, if you're focusing on what you got going on, there's no reason why you should have time to be focusing on somebody else's in a negative light. And if you're somebody that deals with that jealous spirit, you might want to look at yourself and just use that for a positive thing. Like, yes, I want X, Y, and Z. Now go get it. Period. Like, I want that house. Go get it. Like, I want those shoes. Go get it. Like, there's no reason why you should be hating on somebody else for it and not use that as inspiration. Like, take that hate and build yourself up with it and become grateful that you are able to execute it and get what you're getting. Because you executed the move. You didn't just sit back and say, oh, I want what so-and-so has, and you didn't execute that. But you continue to say that you're broke. You continue to say that you'll never have. You continue to hate somebody else for having what you want. But you don't feel the need to go out to go get what you want. I want to make that my last key point. Evaluate what you have going on. Stop saying that you're broke, because you're not. Like, even though you might feel like you don't have, but can you get it? Can you get it? Can you get up and go get it? You get up and use an idea or thought Can you work at that job that you don't want to work at for like another day? If you can't, what's your path? It's time for you to not say that it's my mother's fault. It's my father's fault. It may have been on their end for not educating you, but what people don't have to give you, they can't give. And if people have it to give you, they choose not to. Now it's on you to create the avenue to get it. It's okay to want what someone else has if you're willing to work for it, and be ready to accept the consequences that comes with that, because their path is not yours. Their bank account is not yours. They may have 10 billion. You may have 10 billion. The way they get it may not be the way you get it. The way they keep it may not be the way you keep yours. Be mindful before you go out and jump and say that I am broke. Think about what you do have. Embrace what you do have. Water it. Watch it grow. And you'll notice your account will follow. And you won't be worried about what Susie and Jake and Josh and everybody else have. You will be sitting in your peace and your abundance, and you will be eating the fruit that you grew because you did that on your own. By the grace of God, of course. But you did that. And you no longer have to feel bad about not having and lacking, because you're doing what you're supposed to do to get it. So now when somebody else who has as well looks at you, they say, dang, they did that. There's a different feeling when you get what you're supposed to get on your own, or you get what you get with support. It feels great. You're not broke. You may be tired, but you're not broke. See y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.